Hey everybody, welcome back. You notice that with the Christmas stars on Christmas trees in Entropia, they always put them upside down, like the pagan occult trees. Alright, so let's see what we got happening. Looks like we got a notification. Let's see what it is. It says entering the land area, done that. It's giving me the same message about buying the Zorn compound. So it's a nice message and all, but shame, it got my hopes up that we'd sold something else. Alright, looks like we have some new players here that are searching out the AI. That's good. Let's see if I can get some oil somewhere maybe. Hit up noobs. Now I've been debating over the past couple days what action I should take next in the game. My birthday is coming up soon, so I might just chill on Rocktropia until then. Let's see what's the date. Yeah, we've got a week and 3 days, or 2 days. So yeah, there's not really much time to go any other planets. I guess we'll just chill on Rocktropia until my birthday. Now I was thinking of putting some of my blueprints and stuff for sale, but haven't bothered to do that yet. If anyone wants to buy some prints and help out the show, just let me know. Now, video game news. I was watching Pat and Ian discuss what they would do if they had a garage sale to get rid of some of their collectibles. And Ian says that he wants to sell a bunch of his Nintendo DS stuff. And I was kind of wondering, like, really? When Ian was saying that he has Nintendo DS stuff, that he plays it, I kept thinking to myself, like, really? You're playing that? It's like some of those games are so old, you should have beat them like 30 times by now. Why the hell would you still be playing an old game like that? Like, I don't know, I can even go back in time and get my favorite games from the old days, like the 80s and the 90s. And if I play them today, I can maybe play them for a day or two, but then I'm like, man, I've already beat this so many times. I'm just gonna play something new for a change. I guess it's ironic I'm saying that as I'm playing Entropia, and how many years I've been playing this game. Now maybe that's what it is. I've been playing Entropia so long that really when it comes to a new game, if I'm going to switch to a game, it has to be a new one. It can't be one that I've already played a million times before. Break up the monotony. Not that that's always a good thing. Now the news from my province is there was like some 70-year-old man, I think borderline even senile, who knows, but he lives up north in northern Ontario, and he came back from a trip overseas, which I find it kind of funny. Eh? We're still letting everyone travel, so how serious are these really lockdowns? But anyways, so he travels overseas, comes back, and doesn't quarantine and isolate, which is pretty much common practice. Like, you might ask anyone who's gone on vacation, maybe 1 to 2% of people are actually isolating. It's like a fucking joke. But anyway, so the old man goes, doesn't isolate when he comes back, and someone ratted him out for it, and they're like charging him, gonna put him in jail and stuff. I was like, holy fuck, right? Like, I know it's everyone keeps mentioning this quarantine act and that he's breaking the rules for it, but technically we have this thing on our planet, Earth. It's called human rights, and there's like an organization called the UN, and they've developed and charted this chart of rules that guarantees our human rights. So no matter what country you're in, no matter what laws that country tries to implement, they can never take away your human rights, because human rights are universal. Doesn't matter what country you're in, everyone gets the human rights. It even says right in them that you can bring these documents, the human rights, to any trial in any country, and it's supposed to overturn their laws because you have human rights. So anyways, it's like the specifics of the human rights. I was reading it, and one of the laws is that you're not allowed to force your own citizens under detention, like house arrest or quarantine acts. It says right in there, it's like Article 8 or 9 or something. Like, for no reason is the government allowed to do it. So it's like you can't just detain someone at home. Like, say, maybe if they were sick, you could detain someone, but you can't detain someone on the idea that they could be sick. It's like, that's definitely wrongful detainment. So there's one of the acts it breaks. And the other one is you always have free movement within your state. They said you can't be under house arrest. The government can't put you under laws saying that you can't go around in your own region where you live. So right then and there, when he needed to go to the store or something, he can go. He has human rights. He's allowed to leave. So this quarantine act too, the people are like, oh, but we acted this quarantine act back when SARS was around, so it's not even an old law. Like, hey, we can just reenact this and you're not allowed to have human rights. But it says right on the last human rights page that no government in any country is ever allowed to institute any laws that circumvent these human rights. So right there, it doesn't matter what new laws a government passes, you still get your human rights. So I found that very interesting that they're throwing the book at this old guy that lives up north in the middle of nowhere. I think what it is people really have turned against each other. You see an old man who came back from vacation, you're terrified that he's going to kill everyone. Fucking virus with a 99% recovery rate. Now I'm kind of waiting until someone like, maybe someone, you know, have you ever heard these islands that they're setting up? Some of the celebrities are like getting an island and then making it a quarantine or a bubble where they test everyone who comes to the island so they can say the whole island is virus free and they can just go back to the old normal and not have to be under these torturous fucking lockdown procedures. So I was thinking, what happens if someone did the opposite style bubble? Where it's like they made an island or like some place, yeah, we'll say an island, and they make the law that everyone's already had to have had COVID at least once. So it's like you have to have the active antibodies. So then they could just make an island where it's like everyone's already had the virus. And then see which one is more sustainable. It's like maybe that's what the planet needs. An actual test to see which is better, herd immunity or not. Left and screen. Alright, let's check out the Bitcoin spin before we get too controversial. 136,528. Let's roll. Boom, 539. We'll just say those digits. It's too many. Alright, thanks a million everyone for watching. Really appreciate the last episode got a few likes. I was wondering if I was going to get any comments about people that are good at math and maybe found some holes in my math. I was thinking, God, there's probably quite a few holes in the math. So if anyone was able to find holes in the math that I fucked up, just let me know. I know there's the obvious ones where a lot of these print prices I'm just estimating. So you can't really calculate your exact loot total by just estimations. It'll really come down to how much I sell the prints for. Fuck, the price of the prints could plummet to 0, and then everything that I calculated there would be wrong, right? Man, I got some good news and bad news about the Toronto basketball team. The first bad news I had was that the team was leaving Canada. They're being relocated to be Tampa Bay's team now. So it'll be the Tampa Bay Raptors. And everyone's like, oh, that's a shocker. Never seen that coming. I was thinking so too. Then I checked Tampa Bay. Guess what their volleyball team is called? Tampa Bay Raptors. So this idea of the Raptors coming to Tampa Bay has been around for however long since this volleyball team's been around. I don't know, I didn't check to see when they coined their name. That's what I was kind of thinking. A little bit of a suspicious thing happened in Canada before the pandemic. Just before the pandemic. You know how like it's September 11th, there was a lot of shady shit that went down? Like a lot of billionaires slipped their hand and let it know that they actually knew about the attacks coming before they came. And the reason they slipped their hand is because they were profiting from it. So in the process of profiting from it, they ended up slipping their hand. Well, anyways, one of them was the owners of the Trade Center building. Forget his name. Some nice guy overall. I think what happened was, well, I guess probably is just purely coincidence, but just what makes it seem suspicious is before the attacks happened on September 11th, the World Trade Centers were scheduled to be demolished. I don't know the reason for it. I think because they were too old, something like that, a lot of asbestos. But anyways, they said the demolition fee was so extravagant that no one could afford to demolish the towers. So there was this major problem with the owners of the towers that, hey, he needs them demolished and he's got to find a way to get them demolished cheaper. So anyways, if that wasn't suspicious enough, then he decides to just a few months, I can't remember how many weeks exactly, but I believe under a year. So under a year before it happens, he goes and buys a giant insurance policy. You know how when you have insurance, you try to buy the minimal insurance because you're like, oh, what are the odds that something's really going to happen? I'll just try to get the cheapest insurance. Well, that was like the opposite of what this guy did. He went out and he went to buy the most expensive insurance package he could afford because he figured something was going to happen. And what did he insure the buildings for? He insured them for acts of terrorism. I don't know, maybe it's because his building needed demolition so bad that he was worried that the mob or someone would demolish his building and disguise it as an act of terrorism. So he went out and bought insane amounts of insurance to cover his buildings getting destroyed by terrorist attacks. And then, which ironically, just a few weeks or months after, that's exactly what happened. He got his demolition that he needed, and he cashed out on the huge payout from the insurance. And it's funny, they said that, well, it's not funny, it's tragic. He got paid out twice. They said because he had the insurance for his buildings getting attacked by terrorists, and his buildings got hit by 2 planes, he got double the payout. So his insurance had to pay out twice. So not only did he make a ridiculous amount of money, but he made it twice. I shouldn't laugh, it's a terrible thing. But anyway, so that sort of situation looks a little bit shady what was going on with these sporting teams. Toronto Blue Jays, they got moved to the States. And where they got moved to the States is where all their farm team players have been playing. So it's like this relationship about them moving to Buffalo had already been established for years and years before they actually moved the team there. So much so that when they moved the team there, some of the younger players said they felt more at home because they had actually played more games in Buffalo than they had in Toronto. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and then the NBA moving the Toronto Raptors to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, the city, had already started changing their names of other teams to the Raptors. Almost like they were really looking forward to liking the Raptors organization, or the name at least. Come on, you son of a whore. Why did the red guy go all the way on that side? What a fuck bitch. Oh yeah, and that's where I was getting to. I was like, where was I going with that? Now, the other crazy thing that happened in Canada, or not crazy, just a wild coincidence, I guess. Oh, that is the way I wanted it. Fuck. I was thinking I got it backwards. Oh well, doing everything in reverse today. Alright, so yeah, anyways, there was a giant sale similar to buying insurance for the World Trade Center, and guess what it was? The owners of our movie theaters. All of our movie theater chains, all the big owners, just a few months before the start of COVID, decided to sell the movie theater chain. and they sold it for relatively cheap. Oh well, that was a bit of a disaster. Hit and miss. What happened was I had been telling a long story, and at some point I hit the pause button. I don't know how, I bumped it, I guess, somewhere. Now I have no idea where I left off in the story. But I'm pretty sure I recorded about 40 minutes without actually recording. So that was a bit of a piss off. Well, I remember, it was when I was changing my shirt. I changed my shirt, I had hit pause, so I took the shirt off, threw it aside, hit record, and then started to do the recording. Well, I guess what I didn't realize is that when I had clicked record, for some reason the click didn't work. So I continued to record the whole show thinking the hitting record had worked. But I was thinking everything I was talking about was pretty controversial. I was already almost considering taking it out of the show. So maybe that's for the best. Maybe that's how it works in the universe. When something really bad happens, you gotta look really carefully and think, hey, was it narrowly avoiding something even worse when this bad thing happened? Sometimes, like, what gets you to bad things happening is something slightly less bad, right? You gotta be careful and watch for that. Not that you're cursing that something slightly less bad happened. Meanwhile, it avoided a huge disaster. Like the people that missed their flights on September 11th, they're like, hey, I missed my flight. What a fucking nightmare. Meanwhile, it turned out the nightmare would have been if they got on the flight. Now it's funny, I've been smoking a bit of or vaping a bit of the Atlantis, a bit of the Ghost Train Haze. And I ended up switching back to my homegrown strain. It's funny because the government's weed was so dry, it's a bit on the harsh side. So I tried smoking my homegrown again to see how it was, and it was smoother. Especially the stuff that I left a little bit sticky. I found the nugs that I dried to perfection, like completely dry, too harsh. So when I vaporize them, it tastes like fire. I don't like the taste of fire. Too hot. Yeah, so anyways, Canada sold their movie chain, or movie theater chain, just before the pandemic. Sort of like how the owners of September or World Trade Centers bought terrorist insurance just before the attacks. But anyways, they sold the movie theaters, but the deal was reneged. So luckily, that's what the people that had to pay out the insurance should have said. They should have reneged on that payout. Just kind of ensure that that stuff doesn't keep happening. But it could be all just coincidence. It's kind of like if you seen that a bad hurricane season was coming, and then you went and got hurricane insurance, if even such a thing exists. Kind of hindsight. Right, so what was the other video game news? Yeah, just Pat and Ian talking about what they would sell. Trying to think, I haven't heard of any amazing PS5 game yet. If anyone's heard of an amazing PS5 game, let me know. Or a new amazing Xbox game. I'm really still waiting on the announcement of Battlefield 2. Once it comes back, then yeah, we'll be rocking some Battlefield 2 streams. Another thing I'll probably do this episode, so it's not all just sweating, is I'm going to have to go to my blueprints that I got in storage and merge the stacks so that I can merge all these ones together with the ones I already got. Start to gauge how many fucking prints I have for sale. It's a fucking nightmare amount. I guess it's a good nightmare to have, right? So many prints that you're fucking exploding at the seams. And then eventually I'll fly to Calypso. Start doing some rounds of blueprint sales on the Calypso auction. See how many of these I can move. I do want to go back to Next Island and start doing the daily missions. I love the daily missions on Next Island. The only thing is the legging prints continue to plummet in price, I bet. Oh yeah, they're already down to 2,000. So I was kind of hoping that people would try to maintain the price of the leggings. Went from 21,000 down to 4,000. Because guys, sure you can sell it fast and get a cheaper price, but if you do that, then all of a sudden the profit from the daily mission goes down to 0. What keeps the profit from the daily mission going is selling the leggings or other prints for a higher price. But I know, sometimes I make the mistake where I get desperate and I want to sell and get a whole bunch of ped faster, no matter how much lower it is. Gotta try to resist that temptation. Holy fuck, did anyone notice the stack of prints I already had? Jeebus. The Jeeb is iced. Yeah, I figured I'll try to sell some other prints maybe at FOMA. They seem to be getting better foot traffic ever since the Camp Crunk event shut down. Yeah, I miss it when Doc was around. He was a good player. Oh my gosh, look how many I have of each now. Over 2,000. Alright, anyways. Space Thruster 102. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. My stack of Space Thrusters is back up to 775. Usually when I get 2,000 Space Thruster prints, that's when I like to sell it. That's a pretty good sized stack. Let's check the market value going. Oh, it's even a little over 3,000. Well done, people. I can't believe it. Here I am bitching at players for not selling things high enough, and now we got the price of thrusters approaching closer to 4,000 again. Man, once we have it at 4,000, guys, it makes the crafting trick so much better. We can do it. Alright, looks like my other PRX and all the other prints are going to be on. Holy fucking prints, Batman. Yeah, people can see that I probably got enough vehicle prints to give a few away at the birthday party. I really don't think too many people will run into me on December 2nd on Rocktropia, but if you do, just let me know. And just give me a shout out that you heard about my birthday on the show, and I'll hook you up with a print. I'll hook up with random ones. You can request one if you really need it. I'll see if I have any of them left. You can see if only 1 or 2 people show up. Man, I could give a print every minute. If anyone needs the Rock Tech prints, I even have lots of those. I'm really gonna have to fucking do a sort where I sort all my blueprints in my Rocktropia storage so that all the Rock Tech prints are in one section. Keep the limited ones on me, but I'm probably gonna ditch the rest into storage. So that's what'll happen on my birthday. I'll have to get them out of storage for you guys when you want some. Or maybe on my actual birthday I'll take some out of storage. So I'll be ready to trade. Yeah, I still can't believe that old man facing charges after going on a trip. That's fucked. Maybe it's a small town community thing. Everyone knows each other up there, so it'd be a lot harder not to get ratted out. Man, what a nightmare, Prince. They should almost make a print specific auction where it's just prints for sale and you can put them for cheaper. God, I wish I had a way to unload some prints. Maybe that's what I could do. I could start buying sweat for cheaper, but instead offer a print in exchange for every sweat sale. So technically players could be making more if they can sell the print they get from me with the sweat. Or when they sell the sweat. For a second I thought we had a red-haired mob to be hitting. It's just that redhead player. I don't know, I was just watching the interview with Mike Tyson discussing his big fight coming up on the weekend against Roy Jones Jr. And he keeps emphasizing that he only wants his fights called exhibitions. Wonder why that is. Oh yeah, and you know who I watched? What's his name? Logan Paul in his actual boxing fights. And the last boxing fight I watched, he actually has gotten better at boxing. Like from his training, maybe he wasn't showing off all of his moves. He saved some for the actual fight. Because he had a lot more speed than I was giving him credit for after watching that training video. Must have been like he was tired maybe at the end of that training video. I don't know what it was. No, it was weird how the judging went by the ref, taking 2 points away from hitting opponent while he was down. Can't recall ever seeing that before. And I've seen lots of boxing before. I used to watch it every weekend. Like I could see the ref giving you a warning, saying, hey, don't hit him while he's down. And really, he wasn't even all the way down when he hit him. He was still on the way down. It's like, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to hit people still on the way down. That's like one of the training moves they teach you. Once he's stunned, get him, finish him. Before he hits the ground. No, but Logan Paul has a mean uppercut. That's what he caught him with. Which I'm pretty impressed because I haven't seen the uppercut used enough. So every time I see it, I'm like, ah, finally. Now, I won't give away the winner of the fight if anyone wants to watch it. It's pretty good. Someone has the whole fight thing posted on YouTube. So I don't know, and I was thinking that Logan Paul is going to get his ass beat in the next boxing fight when he's on the Mike Tyson card, but I'm pretty sure he's actually going to do pretty good against Nate Robinson. Unless Nate Robinson's an amazing boxer. If he isn't, he's going to be in trouble. I don't know, not to make fun of them, but I've seen basketball players go to fight, and usually they're very not good fighters. They have like very not perfect form when it comes to punching. Almost like they've never thrown punches before. Except for maybe James Johnson. He's got the martial arts background, so I'm sure he knows how to punch. So maybe Nate Robinson really is good at fighting. It'll turn out to be a good fight. Now I'm really wondering what's going to happen to Logan Paul though when he gets hit. He's so good at defense, he hasn't really gotten hit much, I don't think. Him against Mayweather would be interesting because they both have a defensive style. So it'd be like, huh, defense against defense. But to try to beat Mayweather with better defense than he has, I don't know if that's possible. And it almost seems like he has the same fighting style as Tyson Fury, where he can definitely just walk around and outbox people by dodging shit. What is going on here? Am I hitting anyone? Yeah, getting sweat. That's good. Yeah, so if anyone had to bet, who would you bet on? Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.? I don't know, I watched how Roy Jones Jr. lost in his last loss, and he looked very weak. But that was just probably a bad night or something. Maybe he isn't that bad overall. Huh. Yeah, I was just thinking of a good idea. Well, I don't know if it's a good idea. Maybe you guys can post what you think about it. We'll go try checking it out. See, when you come to the auction and you want to place stuff for sale, automatically by default it lists you on Rocktropia, and you can place your stuff for sale on Rocktropia. Well, it's neat that the game has a category on the side for the different planets, and if you want to buy stuff from different planets, you can place orders. But I was thinking the one at the top here is global auction. See, and global auction is like an auction that's for every planet all at once, And sometimes Mindark will put stuff for sale here, so that players from all over the universe can buy it. In most cases, most people don't check the global auction ever, so it'll just go on very low bids. So what I was thinking is, why don't they change the global auction so that when I click the sell button, it works. So I can actually place stuff for sale on a global auction. Wouldn't that be neat? So then instead of selling stuff, say I'm on Rocktropia, I'm like, ah, fuck, I wish I wasn't on Rocktropia. I wish I could sell it somewhere and actually get some bids. And that's why I have to leave the planet. This would be a reason where I could just pick, I'll sell it on the global auction. And then boom, 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 place the bids. And then everyone who's buying stuff from the global auction knows that there'll be a delivery fee to get it shipped, or they'll just get told wherever it is and they have to go there and pick it up. So I guess technically you can just go and check every other planet, but what happens if you're on like Next Island, or what happens if you're on a planet with no one, Toulan, or if you're on, Hunt the Thing. So this way you could actually use the auction terminals to sell stuff on a global auction, no matter where you are in the game. And that way when people want to buy stuff, they don't have to individually check each planet looking to see what everyone has for sale. It's not that much work to individually check each planet, but that would just sort of streamline it all, right? Yeah, even Toulan's got 13 pages of stuff for sale. Wonder what's been new there. Let's check the blueprints. I don't recognize many of these. Chair frame I do. Oh, woolly hat. That's kind of interesting. Harir theg cloth, Dahar skin. Maybe this one's makeable. 38 ped each. Rare hat print. Huh. For 10 ped. No, I think I like that one. Let's place a bid on it. We haven't spent any ped in a while, so let's do a little bit of spending. I'll just self-pick it up. I'm not in any rush. Would be kind of neat to see what it makes. No, that's what I'll do. Let's go and see if I can find this in the machine. Or in the, yeah, in the orders. VW. Ah, here we go. Wally hat bauble. Oh, but I wanted to check out the actual hat. Not the print. Alright, let's get a quick message from the sponsor and see if we can find the print, or the actual hat. Today's new hat print was brought to you by Crunk. Crack. It'll fuck you up. Alright, welcome back everyone. See if we can find it. It says blueprint next to everything here. That's odd, eh? You can't see the actual items, just their blueprints. You know, that makes me wonder. Has anyone yet first to discover it? If I crafted it, would I be the first? Because it just shows you the blueprints, but it won't let you look at the actual hat itself, right? It's tempting to pay the 2 ped to have it delivered here. Does anyone know the answer to that? Why would the hat blueprint be in the orders, but not the hat itself? Like none of these hats. You can see all of them are here. But you can't actually order any of them. Oh well, that's a little bit fucked up. Right, I can get Harir thread. Wool cloth I can get. Let's try this Dahar skin. That's probably the one you can't get anywhere. Right, Dahar skin. Dahar. Oh my god. Is there no Dahar stuff either? What is going on with the orders? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Oh, that's why I have it set to blueprints. I was wondering why it was only showing me the blueprints. It's like there had to be something wrong. It was me. What a surprise. Well, at least the good news, we'll be able to see the woolly hat now. There we are. Woolly hat. Bauble. Look how many of these there are. Oh, you can make man's or women's version of it. Let's check out the women's. Ooh, that's a nice hat, huh? Maybe I should make this the thumbnail. I don't know if I can actually make these, but that'd be sweet. Oh yeah, I should move these here. And we'll just type over this. And let's make the background this. Something wide open color. There we go. Oh, and hold the V key. Right, so that's the new hat that I can make. Let's check out the man's version. Pretty sure it'll look the same, right? Yeah, it looks identical. writing's a little bit fainter. So that's not too bad. Well, let's see if we can get the Dahar skin. That'll be the real catch. No Dahar skin, then I won't be making these. Alright, let's wish us luck, right? See if we can find the skin. Yeah, I forgot to check. How many of these have been sold? Quite a few, 5 already. So we won't be first at discovering anything. Boy, the price has dropped already to 6 ped on the women's hat. Men's hat down to 4. They were at 20 just a few hat sales ago. Talk about plummeting the price of your product. So Dahar skin must be available. People are making these hats. There we are, Dahar skin. 1,000 of them. That's 1,000 clicks. Fuck, it's normally 200. I'm buying that shit. Right, so you know what this means, guys. I'm going to be doing 1,000 clicks, depending how much wool cloth and Harir thread. I used to buy Harir thread. I should check how much. Probably got a bunch in storage. Well, let's take a look, see what I can buy for Harir thread. Fuck, man. Piece of shit. Look how much it's selling for now. Well, that's what I was gonna say. It can't be that much. No, so I'll have to wait, buy some on auction. Can get it for around 115%. Some people drove the price up when they were buying it to make these hats. Idiots. A, they fucking drove the price up on the Harir thread, and then B, they drove the price down on the fucking hats that they make. Nah, I'm just kidding. Maybe they got a big global out of the process and that's what's fueled their madness. Alright, if anyone has any Harir thread, maybe I'll check around Calypso, anyone else selling it. Arcadia. Rocktropia, that'd be funny. Nah, I didn't think so. I guess I could place an order, but I don't know, can you place orders from other planets? Maybe. Fuck, man, Harir thread's so expensive too, right? I'm not gonna be able to make many of these hats. Harir thread, there it is. So the decade it was selling at 116. For the month 140. Year 160. And for the week, same as the yearly or decadely, 115. See how much is each one. Ooh, 24 packs each. How many do I need? Holy shit, you need 5 of them? Or no, yeah, 5. So that's a pricey print. Each click it's gonna cost you. Can't believe people are selling the hats for cheap, man. They're hard to make. Maybe I'll just sell the print and the materials at my shop. If anyone else wants to take the risk on it, let me know. That'd be 2 of the hardest components there, gone for you. Alright, that was enough new excitement for me. It's amazing how just one little glance at the crafting terminal can send you on a mission, or the auction terminal. Let's partake in this madness. Come on, could you aim at the person I'm aiming at? That'd be a miracle. Now I was a little bit worried that since the Toronto Raptors team, basketball team, got moved to the States, they play for Tampa Bay now, that I'd be upset about them going. But you know what the team did? They overpaid and signed one of their players that isn't very good and got him to stay for 4 years. And the best player on the team left to play for our biggest rival and took less money. So I was like, man, that's pretty funny. So I was like, now that the team left to another city, I'm like, well, the team fell apart just as they left, so it's not so bad. It's kind of a shame to see the Raptors fall into such disarray. Whole team got shitty. Last year was our last chance. At least we won 1 title. Who knows? Maybe the Raptors will turn it around and signing the worst player for a lot of money is gonna work out. Has potential, maybe. You never know. That worst player could get better. Now let's see what happens to the Raptors. They still got a few weeks. Surprised they haven't picked up any good players yet. They've only lost good players. Kind of a disastrous off-season so far. I haven't checked out the Mindark YouTube channel, see if they've had any updates lately. Maybe they got some new videos that we can cover and review. Oh, I had some news. Now let's check the Entropia channel. Nah, still their last video was 2 months ago. Wow, it's hard to believe. I've been doing daily shows for over 2 months. It's crazy how fast time goes. Hey, the official Mindark channel is up to 3,000 subscribers. If I get my act together with vlogging, maybe I can pass them. Then each of the people that I get on my vlogging series watching, I'll advertise Entropia to them. Hopefully I can get more people to sign up. I messaged the company to get the right microphone. and they still haven't responded. But when they do, boy, will I be happy. I hope. I checked the shipping updates on my book from Turkey, and it still says it hasn't arrived in Canada yet. So maybe it is coming by boat. Or just a bit of a hiccup. Plane has a long layover on the way, maybe. Maybe it goes from Turkey to another country for sorting, and then to Canada. Yeah, if anyone likes that hat print, and they have some Harrier thread, and they want to borrow the print, just let me know. I could easily lend it out for a deposit fee of like, say, 10 ped, because that's what I bought it for. Then if you want to keep the print, you can just keep it. Just kidding. I know sometimes those winter accessories can be hard to come by. If you're on the like Calypso auction, you're trying to buy some winter stuff to stock your shop up. It's usually hard to find a good selection of hats. There's a couple Santa hats, elf hat. I was thinking, man, this hat would be a nice addition. I forgot to check to see what the trade terminal value of the hat was. Did anyone notice? Hopefully it's not like one of those 100 ped hats. If it's around 10 or 20 ped, that'd be nice. Now I'll try to get some more sweat added to my shop, so if anyone wants to buy sweat from the sweatshop, it'll actually have some in stock. Now let's see, MindArc's at 3,000 subscribers, and I'm up to 845. 845 subscribers, guys. That 900 mark is just around the horizon. It's crazy. 900's the big countdown. I was joking that I'd be able to make 1,000 by the end of the year. Maybe I still will. Alright, we got someone who's coming to help sweat. Let's see if we can get a chat going. Anyway. Man, I think I'm gonna have to shave this beard soon. It's starting to get annoying. It's getting so long, I have to brush it. Yeah, good as well. Now, I was hoping to ask people, has anyone seen any of the Halloween gifts from MindArc? Did Calypso give any of them out? Did the other planets? Was Halloween cancelled? No gifts? Bastards! Yeah, so this guy was saying that he never got the gifts from Mindark either. They really cheaped out. As soon as this guy attacks me, maybe I should just do it now. Get him the hell out of here. Oh, he's stale. Or dry, not stale. He's gone stale. Now, I was thinking for an interesting addition to my YouTube channel is I might brew some mead. Now, it seems like every adult in their life at one point decides to try making their own wine. See if they can brew wine at home, get drunk for cheaper. And I kind of considered making wine for a while, but I was thinking, man, there's so much things that can go wrong. And usually I'm pretty good at finding those things. So maybe I should try to find some way to make it easier instead of making just regular wine. That's when I found out about mead. Mead's the easiest of all alcohols to make. So that's why I should try it first. I was going to do it with my own honey collected from my own beehives, but the beehive plan didn't work. So I was thinking instead of giving up on the beehive plan, maybe what I should do is just get honey from somewhere else, buy it from a local farmer or something in bulk, and then make my own that way. So I don't have to give up just because I sucked at getting the beehives working. If anyone didn't hear that story, I bought those auto-flow beehives, ones you can just have honey on a tap. Problem was is they work too good, so when the hive is filled with bees, you have way too many bees. They can kill and attack anyone that's near the beehive. So if you have it in your backyard and you have neighbors, it's not a good thing. Thankfully no one got attacked. I got a beekeeper to take the bees out before anyone got stung. Well, actually the beekeeper got stung. Shouldn't say no one got stung. Luckily he only got stung once, and he said that the more you get stung, the more you build up immunity. So he's not even that bad. He did still jump though. And honeybees are actually a different species of than normal bees. So you don't want a whole bunch of honeybees going around taking all the pollen from regular bees. Yeah, I used to think that honeybees are the same as normal bees, but no. Natural bees are the native bees, completely different bee species. And they actually compete and fight with honeybees. That was the greatest part about having a beehive. At one point I got to watch the bees fight. Fuck man, was that ever entertaining. I know some people bought cameras and set up them so they could watch bees fight. And then I was like, man, why would you ever do that? And then I seen the bees fighting, I was like, holy shit, now I want to get a camera and film this. What happens is when you have your beehive, you have an entrance, and you can control how many entrances you open. And if you open one, what'll happen is one of the guard bees will stand in front of that entrance, keep out any of the other bees that are attacking. So say if there's natural bees, native bees, wasps or something, they'll stand by the door and protect the honey. And then so what happens is ants will try to crawl in to take the honey, so they'll battle the ants. They take out the ants pretty good. But I notice when other bees like wasps and stuff come to try to take the honey, that's when the fights get intense. So it's like, man, putting a camera and filming the beehive fights, that'd be pretty wild. Maybe that's what I'll do one day when I have my own off-grid cabin or ranch. not only will I have animals, chickens, but I'll have beehives. And the beehives will have fights, and I'll film them all for my YouTube channel. And that'll pay the bills for the ranch. It'll be the the beehive UFC. Nah, I don't know how good that plan's gonna work. But no, maybe the mead will work too. Let's hope. It'd be nice to have a better selection of drinks. Vodka and rum's okay, but mead's a little bit more natural. Probably like that better. Alright, so I guess I better wrap up the show. Yeah, guys, don't forget to leave some comments and like the video, and I'll try to read all the comments for next time. Even if it's non-entropian related stuff and you just want to promote some stuff for other content, just leave it in the chat. Can't really promote the sex websites, but I know some people have already been leaving that. So good luck to everyone. Yeah, I hope everyone liked the Entropia profit results. If you can put a comment if you thought my calculations were right or wrong, or just way off in the estimates. Yeah, selling the prints is going to be an adventure. Alright, so take care everyone. If you want to help out the show at all, you can do so with Patreon, Society 6, Hyder TV, Swagbucks, GameKit, and free Bitcoin. Just click the show more info button in the YouTube description thing, and it'll open up the links to all these. Also for the virtual made sex machine, whoops, pointing at the wrong thing there. No, the virtual made sex machine is for adults and men only, but if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Just kidding, unless you're near Toronto. But anyways, here's what the virtual sex machine package looks like. The company has sent me one. So it is legit product. It was kick-started and it succeeded. It has been made. So thanks to everyone who's ordered those as well. That's a pretty good company. They might be very popular given this lockdown situation, depending how long this lasts. These machines might be the future. Oh, that's horrible. I don't know how I can laugh about that. Hey, if you happen to get any vibrant sweat in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, or a piece of that new hat print, yeah, that's what I'll make the show about. And if that happens and you don't like the show, that's fine. But if that doesn't happen, you can give the show a like. I really appreciate it. Just make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. Losing the mouse and where I'm pointing. Fuck. Yeah, check out Raven Jade's stuff. She just made a new video, and Entropia Zine. Hopefully they'll have a new episode coming out any day now. Any day.